So here you go. This is effectively our base. And originally, when I first spawned in, Viking 3 is through that gate over there. So I literally just ran along here and set it up here because there was some nasty stuff around the oasis. And literally, the original base was just this ground floor. And obviously not in wood and stone. It was in thatch then, of course. And then obviously I've built on another floor. Inside the ground floor, apart from Mick's body, is our refrigerator and our cooker. This is like the food preparation area here, which I haven't finished decorating yet. I'm going to put something in here. And then upstairs, this is our crafting floor. So we've got a bed, obviously a bed to respawn, little cooking pot there, a forge that this is a backup forge. We don't really use this or need this anymore, but it's there just in case. Our fabricator, our industrial forge, our storage for things like, as you can see, stone flint, fibre, hair and hide and everything else. Chemistry bench, our smithies here, and then our blueprints, trophies, prefabs, spare gear and saddles are in these cupboards. So everything is on the same floor when you want to craft. Now obviously sometimes when you go and gather something, it's a bit of a pain in the arse to come all the way up the stairs. So we've got a couple of points of access. One is you can land a flyer on the roof and you can access the forge from the roof. You can get, the stairs are here, just go up there onto the roof. Another one is this ramp, so you can come this way with like a dodecarus or whatever, park it here if you're unloading stone and just pick it up and walk it the short journey to the stone cupboard, which is here. But the easiest way that I've now added on, I added on an extra dock part that goes across here around the side of the base, and you can bring the boat up to here too and take a dinosaur off of it, or bring a dinosaur from land and bring it onto here, and then you can use the elevator, it just takes you to here, and then you can bring the dinosaur up to here, and it makes unloading incredibly easy. And we've got a couple, these crates around, we've mostly been using just for decoration rather than functional use. So that's the base. And then originally on the ground floor we had a storage cupboard each. So one for me, one for Mick, one for Otteras, one for Biggie. And I then, once I improved the base, decided that we wanted to have our own place. So we built this hotel. And in this hotel there are 6 rooms. This is Mick's room here, as it says. And he's decorated his room with some bits and bobs. There's Otteras's body. He's actually in his own room upstairs, but he's hanging through because he's got little drums in the corner. And then Biggie's room is round the back here. He's made no effort with that. I made that TV for him because his room was completely empty. So, and at some point later on, this will go out to the water pen. As you can see, we're kind of not far from the dock, and there will be stairs coming up to the back of this hotel from our water pen, which will be a penned off area in the water to keep our sea creatures safe. But that's there for later on. And then my bedroom's here. I've got somewhere for my gear, and just you can spawn at these beds and stuff like that. So if I do fast travel, you can see that if I click the beds, you got everyone's beds there. There's one on the boat as well. The 2 boats we've got. There's one at the hunting camp. My penguins are still standing on my little Christmas present. There we are. Dodgy tarts. So we've got a room each basically in there. And you'll see a lot of these plants around that we're using for protection. They lob green mortar type things, and they're along the battlements of the gates back and front as well, mixed on those. So this building that I built, finished building yesterday, this is our aviary, and I built it on the side of the cliff in two locations. So you can come up here, go up in the little elevator. So the first bit I built onto here like this, and then I noticed that when I was down grabbing some materials from the base, I noticed that if I built the tower to where the actual aviary is, it was going to make it look a little bit flat and uninteresting if it were both the same angle. So I twisted this aviary building itself a little bit, which is why I built it separately. It's not actually attached to this first building, except kind of from here, but not physically. So I've got a slightly different angle on it. And then you fly the birds in this gap here, land them on here, and then obviously you can use the elevator to go up into the aviary itself. And I got my Argentavis killed last night, and one of our pterodons has gone on a bit of a wander. Yes, Wigs, they're very effective against dinosaurs, those mortar plants. And they're way more cost efficient than putting turrets around the place. They're really good, and they'll kill anything that gets close. Anything. So, obviously, there's a big gate for us to get in and out. We've got a main gate to the north and one to the south. And I've also built some little battlements on here as well, so you can also go up here. And as you can see, got a plant up here, and it'll quite easily pwn stuff once it's finished growing. I think Mick only topped that up today, so another one in there as well. And then here we have our stable next to the jousting arena that Otteras built. He built this little jousting arena. But in here we've got our stable where our horses are. Some feeding troughs around for them. And then in the middle of our town we've got a little well. This doesn't really perform any functional use, this well. It's just mostly because I noticed this middle bit was looking a bit empty, so I put a well in there because that's quite often what's in the middle of a village. So I just kind of got it looking vaguely well-like. So, and then in the middle, as you can see, we keep all of our big dinosaurs here. Obviously, big flying dinosaurs are kind of held on the cliff over there where that Ketz is. Small dinosaurs, flying dinosaurs in the aviary. And then up here, we've got our small, medium dinosaurs. So we've got Allosauruses and Megalosaurus and various functional ones like, wood, stone, metal gatherers, a couple of bears. See if my little friend's sleeping where he normally sleeps. Yeah, he is. A Stegosaurus that will probably get eaten in a minute. And there's a gate there and over that side too, and over that side as well. So you don't have to go all the way through the base to get out. You can get out pretty quickly into the wilds if you need to. And then this building here, which at some point fairly soon will have sheep in it. We need to go and we need to get the sweet cakes made to tame the sheep. But once we get 3 or 4, we're going to stick them in here. So I've just put a building up just for now. And obviously back gates over here, and as you can see, a couple of the grown plants there that are ready to do their thing. And they're all irrigated and stuff. Mick's done a really cool job with not making the pipes show up too much, which is really cool. You just get little hints at them here and there. You don't, you know, they're running through the walls mostly. Fully irrigated. And you'll notice that because of that, there is very little out here when you come out here because they're fully grown, those plants. And anything that strays, even if it's passive dinosaur, those things will mortar the shit out of them. Keeps the front and back of the base fairly clean and tidy. And then we've got the greenhouse here that Mick built. As you can see, he's growing lots of things here. Quite simple little thing, but it looks really nice. And then we've got, I'll show you this briefly, I won't go all the way over the other side, but we've got, this is the first part of the dock that I built here. Mick built me this chair so I could sit on here and admire the bridge that I built. I came back from finishing the bridge, which took me ages. I'll show you this. Now, this is the last ship that I built. You can get dinosaurs on the front and you can get dinosaurs on the back. A big mini gun for shooting down seagulls because I hate seagulls. It's got a solar panel on here, so we've got an electric fridge, we've got some storage boxes, one for fuel and stuff too. This is sat on a motorboat. And then obviously when you're going around doing mining, you can get to the ones that are really high up from standing up here or on the next deck up as well. And it's also handy when you're sailing around to have someone up in the crow's nest up here because they can see a lot further than you can when you're down there driving it, keeping an eye out for rocks and whales and things. And obviously it's got a couple of blocks to walk on up here as well to get to metal things or whatever. Yeah, okay, Mr. Love. And then this was the first raft that I made. And it is on a raft as opposed to a motorboat. Somewhat similar design, but it's a lot narrower. I had to build it wider, that one, to get everything on. Because, I mean, you can get a mammoth on this metal design. You can get a mammoth on there. But this was the first one that we had, which did us proud. Well, not the first one, but the first one that survived a whale attack anyway. And then you've got the bridge. I won't go all the way over the other side, but basically there's 3 towers with a bridge joining each one. And then there's another dock over the other side too, somewhat similar to this. There's nothing else over there because it's too far away from the base. But to make sure that the towers lined up, I had to build a thatch ceilings and wood pillars in a line out from this tower to where that one was going to begin. Then I built that tower, then I deleted all the thatch ceilings and wood pillars, and then did it again the other side, so they would be exactly in line. Which, I mean, it took me ages. You know, it's a lot of pillars. When you're in that deep part, you're talking about quite a lot of pillars. So, but it looks pretty effective, especially at night with the lights on the top of each one of the pillars. Looks pretty cool. And then, if I sprint back out, we've obviously got some sea defences as well. There's some spiky things going through the sea, so very little hassles us at all. Sometimes we get a spawn in the middle of the base, but yeah, that doesn't last long. This is what we built today. The little, I shall show you the text just so I don't necessarily have to say it if this is going to go on YouTube later on, but that's what it is. And they're all in there doing their thing. Lots and lots of dodos. Also, I dragged Biggie in there and stripped him naked, so when next time he logs in, he'll be naked in the dodo sex hut. They're getting on with their business there. And finally, the last thing to show you, if I can get up here, There we go. Here's our bar. And this is slowly being converted into a brewery as well, so we'll be doing a lot of our brewing up here. So you've got a kind of a somewhat of a storage area down here underneath the main bar. Haven't quite finished that leg over there. This will at some point have water, and it's going to run up under the floor there to where you can brew some stuff. And then we've got our bar up here, which is fully decorated. Some pictures up, stuff on the tables. Bar area here where you can sit down too. And then the water will eventually run to here, so you can make beer in here. And then out here you've got a kind of somewhat of a viewing area, so you can sit on here if you want. You can admire the base or just chill. Close that. And a similar kind of viewing area here too. And then finally a fairly bigger, more barbecue type area out here. But you get some nice views around here because it's fairly high up. And there you go. So that is our base. That's what we've been doing over the last week or something.